Hello everyone, welcome to the second video on Introduction to Programming using Python. So in the first video, we started with some definitions of computer program and computer, and today we are going to go over some more code. So we introduced the print, and we said the purpose of print is to display something on the screen. And we said that to use print, we just type print parentheses, and if you want to display a text, put it inside quotation mark. And we displayed this simple text, hello Python. And I click run, I get hello Python. Now, here is a little bit of terminology. Okay, so let's get back here and let's discuss the syntax of print. We already mentioned that the word syntax means grammar. So we are discussing the grammar of the print. Okay, print is known as a function, and we will see what is the definition of a function later. To use print function, we said the purpose of print is to display something on the screen. To use print, you start with the word print all in small letters. Okay, this detail matter. Then you write parentheses and you list the value you want to print inside. So whatever you put inside the parentheses is called argument. So when I want to print the text, hello Python, I say the argument to print is hello Python. Okay. Now, one more thing. You can display or print multiple arguments. Okay. So you can give print function multiple arguments. How do you do that? You just list them inside the parentheses with a comma in between each two. So you can write hello Python. Then this is the first argument. The second argument, you put it after a comma, like this. Okay, so let's see this in code. I'll come here, I'll write print, hello Python. Then outside the code, I will write a comma, then another argument, welcome. Now, when I run this, see a shortcut for running this will be Control Enter. So instead of each time I go to the run button, I will click Control Enter. I will see hello Python, welcome. Notice how a space is provided for me right here. This is because print will put a space between each two arguments. So what we are seeing here is Python print first argument. This is arg1, the first argument. Then it will be a space, then it will print the second argument. Okay. The arguments we are seeing here, which represent some text, is called a string. Okay. So in Python, whatever you put between quotation mark, like hello, is called a string. This value here is called a string. Okay. So we say the argument in this line of code is of type string. You can provide argument with different types other than string. So for example, I can print out numbers. So I will add a new cell by clicking with the plus sign, and I will type print 5. When I run this, I get 5. You can provide multiple numbers, 5, 8, 9. And as I expect, print will list the argument one after another with a space between each two arguments. Now you can have mixed types of arguments. So print, this is video number. And here I will write 2 outside as a number, as a second argument. So when I run this, I get this is video number 2. Okay, now what else can you put inside a print as an argument? You can put whatever calculation you want to perform on numbers. So for example, I can type print 5 plus 6. Okay, so Python will come here, we'll see this is addition operation, it will perform it. So this will give you 11 and it will print 11 for me. Now this is an important difference here. Anything represented as a string, okay, is printed as it is. Okay, so if I want to print the text Ahmed, okay, it will be displayed exactly as it is. If I want to display 5 plus 6, but instead of the operation like this, I put quotation mark, which makes this a string. Now, this will be displayed as it is. Okay, so let's show them. Print quotation mark 5 plus 6. Okay, so the lesson here is whatever inside the quotation will be displayed as it is, at least for now. You'll see some exceptions later. Whatever outside quotation, if it's an operation like this, the result will be calculated, then displayed in the output. Okay, let's continue. So what is a function? We said print is a function. A function is simply a group of instructions that achieve a particular task. So for example, print achieve the simple task of displaying the arguments on screen. Okay. Notice how we said print is a group of instruction. However, you only see one instruction in the line of code we printed. So print 5 is one line. Where is the group of instruction? We will see in a minute. Here is some terminology. Whenever I say we are going to call a function, I just mean we are going to use a function. So in the example code we have here, I am calling the function print one time. Here I am calling it another time, which just means I am using the print function. Okay, now some other terminology, what you put between parentheses in any function is called argument. And how many arguments should you put inside the parentheses? It depends on the function. In the case of print function, you can put as many as you want. So again, we go back to the question, where is the group of instruction for print? You can see this in the GitHub page of the Python implementation. So basically everything you have here, this entire code is executed in the background whenever you use the print function. So the print function is a group of instruction. This is the group of instruction that is executed. Okay. So now we come to this question: how does a Python program run? So you have a Python program. How does it actually run? This is some important detail you might need when you study more Python in the future. So let's see. You have something called your source code, okay, which is just the file containing your code, your source code here in Python. Okay, this source code is going to be executed or run by something called the virtual machine. Okay, there's one issue. This virtual machine, which is just another software on your own computer, which is responsible for running Python code, this understands bytecode. Okay, again, you have your source code in Python, and you have the virtual machine responsible for running this code. The only problem is the virtual machine understands a format, a specific format called bytecode. It's the same concept as last video where we said CPU only understands binary. Same thing, the virtual machine only understands a format called bytecode or a language called bytecode. But we are writing Python code, okay? So we need another program here called the compiler, which is going to convert Python into bytecode. Then the virtual machine will take the bytecode from the compiler and it will execute it. So basically, whenever I hit run here, so I come here, this is a Python code. When I hit run, two steps are performed. The first one, the code is converted to bytecode, then the virtual machine is executing it and providing me with the result. Okay. So let's jump into a new topic, comments. Sometimes you want to write some description for your code, okay? So the code gets complex and you want to explain it to yourself in the future or to other programmers. You write what is called comment, which is just normal English text inside your code file. This text should start with a hash sign, okay? So let's see an example. Assume I have a program that does the following. This program will take basically 3 values and it will calculate the average of them. So I will have 5 and 6 and 7. And I want to calculate the average of them. So I will sum them together, put everything inside parentheses, and divide by 3. Okay. Now I will write a comment explaining this code. So I will write a comment by starting with the hash sign, and I will type this code calculates the average of the numbers and display the result. So you notice this is a normal English text, okay, explaining this code. So I just put a hash in the beginning of the line to basically tell Python, this is not code, this is a comment. Okay, an important detail here is this is ignored by the compiler. Any line that starts with a hash sign is totally ignored by the compiler, which means it is not converted to bytecode, which means it is not executed. This is important because if I come down here and I write print hello, then I type print welcome. It's in front of print welcome, I will put a hash sign like this. Now, when I run this, Python or the compiler will ignore this line, so it's not going to print welcome. It's just printing hello, okay? So this is the definition of comment and how to basically use them. Let's now discuss errors, okay? When you write code, okay, you might encounter some errors, and this is pretty usual, even for experienced programmers. There are 2 categories of error. Either you basically make a mistake in this grammar of the language. So this is called syntax error. Another name for it is compile time error. Okay. Or the syntax will be correct. However, there is another thing that is causing an error. Let's explain this by an example. So if I come here and I type print hello, okay, this syntax is correct. I'm using print correctly with parentheses and quotation mark. So I run this, everything is fine. However, if I write this, Notice how here I have print with capital B. Now print that Python knows is all small, okay? You might notice even Jupyter is helping you here by putting print in green color, while print with capital B is in black, okay? This is something that basically different from the print function known to Python. Similar thing will happen if you have, so this is basically a syntax error. Similar thing will happen if you have print with text inside here, like this, hello, but you forget to close the quotation mark. So this is again, you made a mistake in the grammar of the language. Okay, so this again is syntax error. Notice here when you run, Python is telling you syntax error EOL while scanning string literal. Okay, basically it's telling you you did not close the string properly by typing another double quote. Okay, the other type of error you will see is called runtime error. So you can type something like print 1/0, which is the syntax is correct. You are just performing division, okay, which you can do normally in print. However, when you run this, you get the error 0 division error because you cannot divide by 0. So basically the syntax is correct, but at runtime, the virtual machine tries to divide 1 by 0 and it counters an error. Okay. And we will see another other types of basically runtime error, okay, in the coming videos. One category of runtime error that is famous or often encountered in programming is called logical error. So an example of runtime error is logical error. What does it mean? See an example. So assume I am computing the average, like the example here. So I am computing the average of 3 numbers, and I am explaining this in the comment as well. However, when I come here, instead of plus, I accidentally put minus. So the logic of computing the average of 3 numbers is wrong. I am committing a logical error, okay, by subtracting the third number. Basically, what I'm saying is what you intend from this code is to calculate the average. However, your logic or way of calculating average is incorrect, so you make a logical error. When you run this, the program will produce an output that is not what you want. Okay. So these are the types of error we have, and basically the syntax of print. We will stop at this point for today and see you in a later video. Thank you for watching.